Good morning, Zio here. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because we talk about nerd news and occasionally play video games around here. And today we're talking about GeForce Now, Nvidia's GeForce Now. And it looks kind of promising. So let's get into it, shall we? But just like xCloud and, gosh, what's the other one? Google Stadia. There we go. We've got gaming services, or I'm sorry, cloud services for gaming on the horizon. Although I think the internet infrastructure isn't completely 100% there to make this like a big thing, but it is getting there, or at least it's not there for some places like out in the country. People in the cities, of course, this is going to be really good for them. However, we have Nvidia GeForce Now, which is, of course, recently came out of beta, like just recently, very recently came out of beta, and it's $5 a month. Dang. It is definitely going to give Stadia a run for its money. So we've got essentially three different services right now. All right, we've got Google Stadia, which will eventually launch its free version sometime in the near future, but currently required like $130 something or $20 something just to get in on the ground floor. It's got an abysmal library, and you have to pay for the games as well as pay for the service to get things that they haven't even got yet, but they're still offering it into the service, like 4K. Then you have xCloud, which I think is still in beta, and you can sign into that. I don't really remember how much it is, but it seems to be doing really good, and that's with Microsoft and Xbox. And now you got Nvidia's GeForce Now, which is $5 a month. Oh, and I'm sorry, the xCloud is more a la carte, or not a la carte, it's more like a Netflix style. You pay for the service, and then you have access to everything that's in the library, right? This one is a bit different. This is looking to run you about $5 a month. Of course, that price will probably increase, sometime in the future. However, with Nvidia GeForce Now, it's a bit different. It allows you to play what you already own in multiple locations, right? Which is pretty cool. I like that idea. Having another service be able to handle the whole, making remote play a lot easier. Let's go with that, because remote plays existed for a long time. It's existed with the PSP and the Vita when it comes to the PlayStation, but if you don't know what you're doing, it's not an easy thing to set up. And you can do remote play with other things, of course, as well, with through the PC and stuff. However, it's again just not the easiest thing if you have no idea what you're doing. So these services are definitely nice for people who have no clue what they're doing, but would love to, boot up one of their games, like maybe The Witcher or something, and play it somewhere else in the house without having to sit like in this computer chair or their computer chair or wherever it is. And, even if they're running a potato, Nvidia or whoever is going to handle the hardware portion of it. So it's a nice service. But yeah, it's got a free version, which is a little, I don't know, it's hard to wrap my head around it, because you can do this for free, right? And it's got standard access with about an hour-long session. And essentially what that means is every hour it's going to notify you and say, hey, look, we've got to kick you off. You're going to have to restart your session. So you back out and then go back in. But of course there are queues possibly. So, you may have to wait a little bit before you can get back in. Meanwhile, with the $4.99 a month version, you will get priority access, of course, which will allow you to get in a lot faster than everybody else. You've got about 6 hours worth in that hour-long, or in that session time. You've got RTX on, and if you got the Founders, you get free 90-day introductory period, which is pretty cool there. Now, if you're wondering about the sessions, This is what the sessions, I'm sure, are for, is to keep the servers from being overloaded. Like, for instance, sometimes I play, and then I've got to get up and do something, right? And then I just sort of AFK. You probably do it too. A lot of people do it. We just AFK, especially if we're on the computer. And, you know, we could come back, you know, an hour or so, and still the thing is paused, and we haven't gone anywhere. So if you did go AFK, you know, the thing is going to kick you off, so it doesn't bog down the server, which is fine. I'm okay with that. That's my assumption as to why they have, you know, time limits, of course, for the sessions. So, you know, it's not something that they actually said, but that's just my thought on it. But at the launch, anyone can apparently join GeForce Now's founder tier, which will be free to all interested users for the first 90 days. No credit card required. Once the trial runs out, users can lock in a 5-month rate for the first year. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. I don't know where that yawn came from. Anyway, but yeah, Nvidia representative said I wouldn't expect the rise to be more than double. So you're looking maybe $10 a month, because there is talk that it will eventually rise in price. Which, you know, the service really doesn't seem all that bad as it is. Now, it doesn't do. It's not perfect or anything, but it seems to be pretty decent. And the biggest draw is the fact that it lets you play your game library. So, you know, you can own your games through Steam, link it up to it, and get to play it. In fact, you even got to do it with Blizzard, Activision, and several other, you know, companies' games. However, there's now a caveat to that, so we'll get into that here in a second. But unlike Stadia, GeForce Now's premium membership does not affect general streaming performance and doesn't currently come with any bonus games. Whether you're on the free or paid tier, you'll receive the same maximum streaming feed of 1080, 60 frames per second. Maybe it's because I don't 4K. I don't have a 4K monitor or anything. I don't have a 4K TV. I don't really see the appeal of 4K. Somebody can tell me it's amazing. It's like blows 1080 out of the water, and that's fine. You know, you do you. But 1080 60 is more than plenty to play a lot of games, and you know, got nothing wrong with that at all. I'm totally okay with it. Although I do have a friend who does have 4K, and now he can't play anything other than 4K, so I guess it does look a lot better, and I just won't experience it until I eventually get one myself. But what's more, free users will get punted from GeForce Now every 60 seconds. Of course, that's what we're talking about, time limits. And those free players can log back on for as many 1-hour sessions as they want. So, you know, it comes up. It's like, hey, you're about to go out. You find a place to stop. You save, whatever. Back out, close the session, restart the session. You're good to go again. Now, it's a little bit of an inconvenience, but other than that, it's no biggie. The other perks of GeForce Now Premium membership is access to the RTX graphics toggles, which, you know, I guess everybody uses, right? No? Yeah, I didn't think so. Anyway, supported games. At launch, GeForce Now supports only 3 games in RTX mode, and that's Metro Exodus, Deliver Us the Moon, and Wolfenstein Youngblood. So there's only 3 that you actually can play that way. But, yeah, that's going to be the thing right now. However, here's the bad. Activision Blizzard games have been pulled from GeForce, and then there's also a few others, and I just can't remember them off the top of my head now. And I think maybe it was Capcom or something. I don't remember. But there's a few other companies who have apparently decided to remove their games right at the last second after everything was all copacetic and fine. You know, they had everything worked out, everybody was happy, everything was great, and then suddenly out of nowhere, the last second, these companies pulled out and said, look, your games are not allowed to run on our services. And we talked about this Monday, of course. I'm not sure when this video actually is going to go up, but this was the video that I was originally doing before I ran into the Blizzard thing where they banned people for using cloud gaming services with their games. Wow. Anyway, so they have written it into their terms of service now that you can't do it unless it's an approved source, of course. But according to a spokesperson at Nvidia, the library of Activision games, which include Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Overwatch, Diablo 3, and more, have been removed at Activision's request. As we take GeForce Now to the next step in its evolution, we work with publishers to onboard a robust catalog of PC games. That means continuously adding new games, on occasion having those games removed, or having to remove games similar to other digital providers. Per the request, please be advised Activision Blizzard games will be removed from the service. While unfortunately we hope to work together with Activision Blizzard to re-enable these games and more in the future. In addition to hundreds of games currently supported, we have over 1,500 games that developers have asked to be on board to the service. Look forward weekly updates as new games we are adding. But as to why they pulled out, it's apparently unknown. I'm gonna say because it's Activision, maybe they want their own version of a service so they can throw all their games on it, and their Blizzard titles as well. Blizzard did write it into their EULA that apparently if you don't use an approved service, you're not allowed to do that sort of thing, and they have apparently banned people for it and reversed some of those bans, but people were banned for remote playing their own game that they bought, which is a bit on the side of ridiculous if you ask me. Anyway, that's about all I got to say. Nvidia's service here, GeForce Now, seems promising. It looks good. It's fairly cheap, and I look forward to see where it's going to go, because honestly, I might dabble in it a little myself. Anyway, let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I will talk to you later. See ya.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment, smash that like button, and always subscribe for more. And of course, there are other videos floating around somewhere on the screen, so click one of those and see if you can find something that suits your fancy. Till then, I'll see you later. Bye.